Hello guys, welcome back. Merlin here, and today we're going to be doing a test run on ESO using one of three different staffs. We'll either be using this Coward's Lightning staff, or we're also going to be using the Vanguard's Challenge Ice staff and the Inferno staff. And this is more or less to test which one is best at keeping the enemy at a distance, while one may allow them to get closer, but may in some form punish them for it. Or another may allow you to freeze them or hold them off, and may be best at dealing with crowd control. Okay, check and see if everything is set. Now, I really want to test this against, say, the Delve boss. So, our first thing we'll be doing is using the Lightning Staff. Now, I've put enough points into the Destruction Staff skill tree to be able to drop a transformed elemental wall, which will, as you can see, will branch out and hit most targets within that square, and it's good at keeping me at the distance. Now with the group, it's kind of hard to see that, but we'll kind of go off and maybe find a couple enemies where I can kind of show that a little better. Okay, so we have three enemies right here. I hit my wall, and I can continue, sorry guys, to back up, dodge, and just release a continuous stream. Or if I want, I can do what would be deemed light attacks, which will deal, in my opinion, more damage versus the continuous charge. And looks like his ass spawned before I was ready for him. Well, alright, so now in preparation for the next one, we're going to switch to the Inferno Staff. And I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a heads up on this one. Now, the elemental wall on this one kind of looks like a ground version of this armor right here. As you can see, they both look the same. Now, it radiates fire damage, which in all honesty isn't too bad, but as you can see, in order to shoot a decent amount of damage, I have to charge up an attack. Whereas with the light attack, it is faster than the lightning. So, in my opinion, it may be better for this one to be just rapid firing. We'll take that staff because it's intricate. Now, I'm going to heal a little bit here. And as soon as the Delve boss pops up, I will give him a taste of the Inferno Staff. And then we will be switching to the Ice Staff as kind of a round out. Now, I don't use the Restoration Staff mainly because I am not a healer. I am a Dragon Knight. And it's just easier for me to kind of skip that staff in general. Now, as you'll see, this gentleman is using a ice staff. So we're going to hold, and maybe it'll let us inspect him. Nope. Will not let us inspect him. But as soon as... Ooh. Okay, he's definitely a Khajiit. But he is using what I believe is a... Don't see any like telltale lightning. You can tell from my staff it's Inferno. I say probably lightning, or probably I want to say dare I say restoration probably. But anyways, moving on. I'm gonna move over here, give you an idea of what the elemental wall does. And as you can see, I'm able to kind of hold him off, not too well though. So when it comes to this staff, I think its greatest weakness is the fact that it allows enemies to get way closer than would probably be comfortable for most players. I mean, if you're using a staff, you obviously need to be, you need to keep your enemies at a distance. You don't want to be met face to face with one of them. But then again, if you can, like, say from here, let's see if we can line up a couple of shots here. We're going to try and kill him before he can get a good distance on us, but then again, he is a mage himself. So let's look for someone with maybe a sword. That's a sorcerer. Fortunately, I don't think we're going to be that lucky. But while we wait for him to spawn, slottable items. We're going to crack this. Okay, we got the jerkin page staffs. I've already had a dozen of those. So we'll destroy that. And then we're going to learn that. And now I've learned how to make the Glenmorrow Weird Jerkin, so not too bad. But back to what I was saying. Ooh, it's a nice pet. And he's got a... I don't know what that is. But basically, as you can see, this staff's a weakness, I would say. If I had to rate it between the lightning staff and this, I would say, in my opinion, the lightning staff kind of comes out on top because it's able to deal well with groups, as opposed to the flames or Inferno staffs. Kind of, I have to charge it up, which allows enemies to get closer. Its elemental wall isn't really too, I guess, impressive. The damage it does really doesn't, really doesn't sing out anything. Well, as soon as the boss pops up, we'll hit him with this. And then we're going to go to the Ice Staff, which in my opinion, if I had to rate them, I would use the Lightning Staff first, Ice Staff second, third would be the Inferno Staff, just because the Ice Elemental Wall can be morphed, it's just, able to slow enemies down a lot. And granted, yes, it has the same kind of charge as the Inferno Staff, but its light attacks kind of hit a little harder and have the ability to kind of knock the opponent back if, hit right. And there you go. So we're going to grab this, grab that soul gem, grab that. Okay. Now, we're going to go to main weapon. And we're going to switch to the Vanguard's Challenge Ice Staff. There. Okay, so we're going to try it in a bit of trials against 3 opponents. I'm going to get a good distance to them. Let's see how long it takes one of them to kind of catch up with me. See? He slows down, and I'm able to kind of... Now let's see what happens when I do this. Actually hitting them, though. As you can see, that ice took a good portion of health with it. And I was able to kind of create a little ice barrier there, which all in all I'd say was pretty good. And I am using the Witch's Memento there, the Witch's Whistle, to kind of help boost my XP there, for those that are wondering. Because I've already grown now to, let's see, description. Yep, I'm now a champion level 120. Which all in all isn't too bad. But next thing we're going to do is we're going to wait for this boss to pop up, because we've kind of did some crowd control tests. And we'll see if we can't take the boss down. But I mean, it is a little bit faster when we have 2 or 3 people here. We're going to try a distance test. Now this person will charge me up. And as you can see, by the time they finally got to me, it was just kind of too late. And being as this is kind of dynamic and they kind of scale to us, I'd say that was pretty, self-explanatory. I'll take your monumental glyph. Nothing in the backpack. Ooh, I like his armor. Look, guys, it's Raiden. Alright, we're going to drop this so that when he appears, it'll kind of slow him down. I still kind of wish there was like a way to charge it and create a ice barrier as you see the enemies do. I've been told there is. I haven't quite figured out how to pull that off. But for the most part, I would say between the two, or between the three, I would rather use my lightning. And if my lightning isn't, getting the job done, I'll switch to ice. But Inferno just doesn't do it for me. I mean, yes, it's quick at the rapid fire, but other than that, it's not really. I mean, the charged attacks are nice, but at the same time, you're kind of required to be able to sit there and do the charged attacks. You have to have the time to pull off those abilities. And if you don't, as you saw, since I'm a glass cannon, I got kind of overrun there. And if that guy had gotten off like one or two more hits before I blasted him, I would have been dead. So as soon as this Delve boss pops up, we'll finish off this kind of like testing of the staffs. Now, for those of you that want, I can do a kind of retrospect on the restoration staff. Like I said, I don't use it, but that doesn't mean you can't use it and enjoy it. I mean, if that's your playstyle, rock it out, guys. With me, it's just easier to stick to the battle staffs, the destruction staffs, versus trying to heal or use a kind of healing staff when I'm not really meant for healing. I do gotta admit, I do kind of like his outfit. Looks a lot like Raiden. Now I do want to see a distance here of how far this will stretch, and it... Okay. So it stretches out pretty far. It'll go past the tree, whereas the flame staff... Oh. There we go. Alright, and as you saw there, the ice staff was pretty efficient at not only blocking, but just kind of doing quick bursts of ice versus doing long stretches of ice. Whoa! Did not see you there. Now let's do a charge attack, see what happens. Now watch his health bar here, guys. Oof. Now see, a couple of charged attacks will do the job. Now, as you guys saw there, I mean, it was pretty well doing. I mean, the staff's not uber good, but it's not uber bad either. The flame staff, I mean, the damage it does doesn't really, I don't know. For me, it just doesn't do it. I mean, the ice elemental wall at least slows my opponents. Plus, if I keep hitting them with ice, that kind of gives them a little bit of a slow. The lightning staff's continuous stream, or what would be considered its heavy attack, is actually not that bad. The quick bursts on the lightning staff really just kind of, it's made for the long continuous burst. It's just a little too slow, in my opinion, when it comes to the quick bursts. So I guess in the terms of how rapidly it can be used, the flame staff has the other two. Because as you can see, the ice staff shoots little beads if you don't charge it. Let me switch over to the Inferno Staff here really quick, guys. Night Slayer Inferno Staff. Alright, so we'll get some distance between us and this guy. Now, as you can see, It's pretty good at quick bursts. The charged attacks don't really do anything, at least not as far as like making it worth using. With these, it's just easier to do the quick bursts. And we'll search this guy, take all his shit. There we go. Now we're going to switch over to the lightning staff, so I can just kind of give you a kind of like a summary on that one. Coward. Vanguard's challenge. Oh, that's a weak one. So we'll go over here. Back to our lightning staff. Now from here, as you can see, the light attacks are kind of eh. But if I keep it going, I can even enhance some of the damage with this. And now I've got these guys helping, which kind of makes it hard to give like an accurate portrayal. But I would say, all in all, given the choice, like I said, I'd rather use my lightning staff. And as far as rating the charged attacks damage, the lightning kind of does damage over the time that it's firing, whereas you have to charge the ice and the fire for when you want to do those heavy attacks. And the damage from the fire is kind of for a charged attack, they both have to hit, and it's kind of each one does its own little set of damage, each fireball that's launched, whereas the ice just launches a big old chunk and does a decent amount of damage. For light attacks, I would give it to the fire staff, followed by the ice staff. The lightning's quick attack really isn't anything too special. But if you had to gauge them all, they each are, I guess, set in their own, they're each special in their own unique ways, as opposed to kind of, one being overall better than the others. So, with that being said, guys, I want to thank you guys for visiting me while I did my kind of ranking of the battle staffs, well, destruction staffs anyways. If you guys like, I'll do a video on the restoration staff, probably give it its own video. I'm hoping to do a video on each of the destruction staffs themselves separately. Each video covering, say, how each staff does in certain situations, like we'll test it in a delve, we'll test it in a world boss scenario, then we'll test it in a dungeon, and a dungeon of each varying difficulty. So I would test the lightning staff in first a normal dungeon, then we would take it to a veteran, and that's probably going to be my next video, which I will be doing either tomorrow night, or I'll be doing it on Tuesday, probably in the early hours of the morning. So I want to thank you guys for dropping in. If you guys liked the video, like the channel, smash that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitch. There will be a link in the description below. But thanks for stopping in, guys. You guys rock. And I will see you guys next time.